Awesome.
I just invite.
So
Yeah,
what?
It is his.
It's a couple of us. It's not like that.
I mean, I just invited him based on seeing him on and saying, you know.
Me today, you invited.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
side
just at
note,
the last
Justin
minute.
was
I
not
got an email
invited.
saying, Damien invited me to.
Yeah, just like I saw him online, and I was like, you know what?
Sorry, I don't want to show off the session.
And that's the beauty of using mobile apps and knowing, like with Foursquare, you'll find out where your friends are, and it changes things in a moment. He didn't have plans to come here. I mentioned it briefly, but I saw him online, and we talked back and forth. I said, hey, stop by. I'm going to be mentioning this, and it would be beneficial to give a better definition than I could ever do. I mean, you own it. Briefly, yeah. We've talked back and forth, but, you know. Yeah. Yeah. But no, there are people that I do follow in apps that I don't know physically. I've talked to online. I feel like I know them, and then I've actually met them offline because of the apps and their interactions and where they are. They might be at an event, and I see them checked into an event on any one of these multiple apps, and I'm like, oh, they're here? I gotta find them. Where are they? Oh my God, so great to meet you. And, you know, otherwise I wouldn't have known that they're there. So then it just creates a better event for me.
So, if I may, just to, we should get back to I just want to understand one of the things. This is like super, super early days for the whole space. Twitter's been a fantastic medium for conversation. Earlier on, as it started to more of a broadcast tool, you know, scale of the network is so large, we're finding that we lose like really persistent conversation. Our goal, you know, is certainly to help small events, but also to enable much, much larger events. You know, we're working on getting hundreds of thousands of millions of people together around things like the Super Bowl or, you know, large concerts or, you know, larger conferences. But it really works at any end of the spectrum. As an event organizer, the way to think about this, though, is this is an opportunity to both encourage your audience to get together at a venue where everybody's interested in the same topic. And also, you know, we have a sort of check-in feature as well.
Yeah, so you check in here, post a note, take a photo, take a photo. You check in, it goes here, you can follow it, you can watch it, you can attend it. And so if you check any number of these things, you share it to Twitter, share it to Facebook, you can actually broadcast to your friends that are in, let's say, EC10 from the Hot Potato account, and it goes into Twitter, and then that hashtag is archived there, so people watching it can still interact with you. So if you click those things, they can interact back and forth as long as they, you know, keep the hashtag.
We're building out tools for event organizers. If you get together a large audience, Twitter's a great way to sort of broadcast a message and say, hey, this is what's going on. You don't really have any guarantee that you're reaching people. Think of checking into a Hot Potato event as opting in to potentially receive marketing from you all. Say, I'm interested in this, so much so that I want to really be involved in it. So you'll then be able to say, great, I'd like to send a push notification or message to everybody who says they're attending. You know, watches on 16, go show up upstairs. Or maybe you'd like to, you know, you're organizing a larger event. You want to send a message to everybody who's coming to San Francisco for the conference from New York, or sort of maybe the other way around. Stay at the Roger Smith Hotel for attendees of EventCamp.
This will be amazing for South by then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Push people to.
Oh yeah.
So
Awesome.
we're doing a really big release. This is like proof of concept that we see on the site. The whole UI is going to change. Lots of new features right before South by. So for those of you who are attending or interested in South by Southwest,
So
iPhone for
March,
now, Android
like the
and
middle of
BlackBerry
March.
coming very soon.
Just
12th. Starts the 12th.
SSXW.com. So let me just quickly, we have like about 15 minutes, I want to take questions, but let me just touch upon a couple of things and you can research it yourself. Pegshot, uploading multimedia. The good thing about this is that you can add events in it, and a Twitter hashtag and an address. So what I did was I added EventCamp, and for the event's name I actually added the @ so then EventCamp will get that. You can share it to Facebook, Twitter, and just your Pegshot friends only. You do that, and then you can go back later and you see it's stored in there under events. You know, Roger Smith is a place in there. So that's one really good thing that you can attach the hashtag as well. That's more multimedia focused, so you know, there's that. The only thing about GoWalla, we mentioned it earlier, it doesn't really have much application for events, but they just released this whole cultivate friend trips. So my friend Castle created a Gates of Central Park. Now, I know my friend Julia Kagansky had an idea of creating a trip in this for an upcoming event at the Roger Smith for Smart Camp about going around to galleries. You know, if your event is at one place, it doesn't really have too much of an application. If your event has people going to different things or moving around, then you can have them check into those places and keep an eye on it and keep a running list on a map. But you know, it's very limited application.
Something like that, though, Goala is somewhat similar to a Foursquare, if you think about it in that sense. But the trips application within Goala, that Damien was just talking about, we've actually talked about this as a group on Twitter a little bit. And the trips application would be good for something like a scavenger hunt or a pub crawl.
Yeah.
Kind of incentive meetings, because you kind of pick up things along the way, each stop you stop at.
You look here at these things, you pick them up.
They're kind of nonsensical little items,
Yeah.
but for some reason people
Which is-
enjoy
People like
picking them up
collecting.
as they go along.
Yeah, you look there, and then this actually does archive everybody and what they're saying back to the beginning of when they checked in. So this is, it does say, so you look at there, Smart Camp Meetup, what I just mentioned, that was me. You know, so that's in there forever. So the branding purposes of that is if you have an event, someone mentions it, it's stuck in there anytime somebody sees it. So that's, yep. Mhm. What social media we could have done with GoWalla is add all of the venues and have somebody check in at each place saying, on such and such a day this will happen. You know, they could have done it a little more, but what they did was they set up, Justin set up hot potato rooms, and Phil from Peg Shot set up all the hashtags and the event things. So when you went in and you clicked, you could see it. Oh, there's the title of it, and then it populated the hashtag. Right now, you have to go to the websites to put that in. I'm sure in the version 2.0 of these mobile apps, you'll be able to do that. It's still relatively new, as far as I'm concerned. The opportunities are endless for event planners. I definitely would keep your eye open. Yeah, any particular questions for Brian or
Let's open up the
I?
floor to some questions.
Awesome.
Are you confused? Or? Okay, so break it down.
It's very simple.
Completely, totally simple.
Yes.